So I have this crackpot theory that Roland Emmerich was really banking on Independence Day Resurgence doing well enough to warrant a sequel where the characters actually fly to where the aliens are and fight back. Unfortunately, the movie bombed because it was so terrible that Will Smith would have rather starred in Suicide Squad that year. But because old Roland McDolan had so many concepts he wanted to use in that hypothetical movie, he just couldn't waste them to the realm of what could have been. So he and a couple other screenwriters half-assed a story about the moon falling to Earth so they could utilize all their scrapped Independence Day 3 ideas. But hey, that's just a theory. Anyway, I watched Moonfall, and it was about what you'd expect from a movie titled Moonfall. If you're familiar with Emmerich's work, then you weren't at all surprised by any of these choices. Me personally, I was expecting this to be a dumb and stupid action flick with nothing of substance and just an excuse to flash big CGI explosions and cities crumbling from some gigantic disaster. And well, that's exactly what happened. There's tons of action scenes and dumb characters with the most basic of what could hypothetically be called personalities. Nothing about it was trying to be unique, and it never seemed interested in challenging your worldview. I don't even think it truly cared about its characters. There's some I'm not even sure if they made it out okay or not. Donald Sutherland was one of the celebrities who got top billing, but he only had like one 30-second scene. He was just there to explain to Halle Berry that there were parts of the moon landing that were covered up by the government, something she would have figured out on her own, so his character is entirely pointless. Then he rolls away on his wheelchair saying he's gonna kill himself, and we never see him again for the remainder of the film. Speaking of things that go nowhere, there's so many subplots that absolutely have no purpose. Patrick Wilson's son goes to jail and nothing comes of it. Michael Pena plays the new husband to Wilson's ex-wife, only to get killed off in the third act so it can be assumed that Wilson and his ex get back together. This is so stupid that it's actually a rehashed subplot from one of Emmerich's other films. This exact same premise happened in 2012. I'm not fucking kidding. There's a scene where some of the characters get robbed by a group of rednecks and then they find them again and get their shit back, but then the rednecks keep following them for no reason. Like, yeah, it's supposed to add tension since they're already being chased while meteors are plummeting to the ground, but there's no reason for the rednecks to be chasing them down. I guess it doesn't matter because they all die anyway and the characters make it out okay. You can pretty much tell that Emmerich is trying to recapture the magic of Independence Day with every disaster movie he makes. This movie is no different. Loser nerd discovers world-changing threats before high-ranking officials, big CGI explosions and action scenes, characters talking about mundane shit to trick the audience into thinking they're interesting characters. Nice try, movie, but it takes a bit more than just talking about the lyrics of Africa by Toto to make me care about these characters. I should also mention the third act bullshit. So it turns out the moon isn't a moon, but in fact a megastructure that was built billions of years ago by our ancestors who are also aliens. They built it to protect the Earth from some evil Matrix AI they also built that ended up destroying them. And so then those nanobots find our moon, and rather than just go straight for killing us, instead they go straight for the moon and spend 10 years digging a tunnel to the center of the moon so then they can push it towards Earth and wipe out humanity. Seems a bit more complicated than just having the moon falling, huh? I'm not kidding when I say my brain was frying from having to sit through this exposition dump. It was so stupid that I honestly couldn't help but laugh at it all. I almost commend the writers for writing something so stupid that it had me snickering in the theater. It's okay, I was like one of 3 people in that audience, so even if I was laughing out loud, I wasn't disturbing anyone. Anyway, the characters have to blow up the microbots by sending in a nuke, even though they chew the military out for them using nukes. Hypocrisy? What's that? Then the movie ends with geeky McFatty nerd sacrificing himself and the other characters live happily whatever. But then before the credits roll, they end on a sequel hook because Geeky Boy ends up having his consciousness uploaded to the moon, because it can do that, and it leaves it open for a sequel. But I don't know how you can make a sequel to this. The moon already fell. There's really not a lot you can do. What, is Mars gonna fall to Earth next? Hey dumbass, they already did that in Futurama. Come up with something more original. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Moonfall. It was incredibly stupid, but also really funny. If you're familiar enough with the director's filmography and think you can handle the cliches, then I say check this one out. But if you want a good action disaster movie that's also really fun, just watch Independence Day. It's a much better film in every way possible. Fortunately, the good news is I watched a trailer for The Batman when watching this movie, so I'm much more excited for that movie now. Not sure what to expect with it though. Is the twist going to be that Batman has to stop the moon from falling? Wait, what am I saying? That sounds awesome. Get on that, Hollywood. If you could make a movie with all 3 Spider-Man actors, then surely you can make a Batman Moonfall movie. Do you guys just actively hate money?